What's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? My name is Fliptriq. Today I'm posting a video that I wanted to do for about a month. I've been trying to compile all my thoughts and get it all together and come up with an actual list. But we got a new year, new decade, and a ton of new games. This year's looking like it's going to be a pretty good one. I'm pretty excited for it. The first half of this year is starting off super strong, so can't wait. It actually gets started right away, so should be a good year, should be a good start. Looking forward to it. Anyway, here's my top 10 most anticipated games for 2020. Alright, and to start off this list, at number 10, we've got Journey to the Savage Planet. So at first glance, this game seems like it's very similar to The Outer Worlds, which is a game that came out last year that I actually didn't get a chance to play and always wanted to. So instead of playing that, I'm going to play this. Looks really fun. Looks like a cool sci-fi space exploration game. Ton of humor in it. Lots of exploration, discovery. I guess you're exploring 4 different biomes. You end up, I think you're crash landed on a planet and you're trying to figure out the wildlife that inhabits it. And essentially, after you discover everything, you're trying to get back to Earth, I think is where you came from. Like I said, not 100% sure about the premise of the game, but it does look very fun, very interesting. Looks like a good way to start off the year. I'm looking forward to it. And from what I've heard, the developers have just loaded this game with lots of creativity and lots of humor, so should be a good time. Looking forward to this one. Next up, we've got Marvel's The Avengers.
Never meet your heroes.
This one just recently got hit by a delay, so it's now getting released September 4th. So this game looks really good. This looks like this could be the next big superhero game, but at the same time, so did Spider-Man. Looks really, like, combat looks great. The game looks really cinematic, but once again, so did Spider-Man. Spider-Man had the issue where it got really repetitive and lots of just unnecessary junk was in the game, and I'm hoping this game doesn't do that. One of my biggest concerns is the fact that you have 5 characters that you're controlling now instead of 1. Now at the same time, at least I don't think so. From the gameplay I've seen, it's always just 1 at a time. I don't know, maybe there'd be co-op. There should be co-op, but I don't know if there will be. Anyway, how are they going to develop each of the characters? Are they each going to feel unique? And with Iron Man specifically, flight. Most games that try to handle flight don't do it very well. So we'll have to see. Honestly, DC Universe Online is the only one that I can think of off the top of my head that actually has done flight correctly. So we'll see how they handle that in this game without having like really defined, developed characters and combat. I just feel like the combat could get really stale. So hopefully that doesn't happen. Also, with how cinematic the game looks, it looks like it could be extremely quick time heavy. Once again, could just be the intro mission, but I have a feeling that it's going to do the same thing that a lot of games do when they're really cutscene heavy. So I'm a little worried about this one. Overall, at first glance, it looks great. Like, it looks super fun, and I'm pretty hyped for it. And in at number 8, we've got Doom Eternal, dropping on March 20th. And can I say one thing real quick, just to start this off? Grappling hook shotgun. Like, how cool an idea is that? That alone is going to make this game. It looks incredible. So much fun. So what they did is you have a shotgun that shoots out a grappling hook, really similar like a hook shot in Zelda. But the idea, like most of the time in most games, you use your grapple hook to like scale a building, which is you're not able to do that in this game, or you use it to get away. In this game, you're using it to be more aggressive. You can only shoot enemies with this grapple shotgun. I think they call it the meat hook, I think is what it's called. But you shoot enemies and it pulls you towards them. They're trying to make this grappling hook be more aggressive instead of evasive. And that sounds so cool. I can't wait to play around with that. But the first game, incredible, super fast-paced combat, and this game just looks like they perfected it. Just mobility. On top of the grapple shotgun, you also have an air dash that you learn pretty early in the game. You're able to scale walls now. All these switches that he's shooting all look super cool. Just like other things to interact with the environment while you're going. And that sword at the end of this trailer looks incredible. It's gonna be good. They added some weird 2v1 multiplayer mode that I'm not really sure about. I don't really like multiplayer games to begin with, so I'm not gonna mess with that too much, but it's just doesn't. I don't know, they say it's gonna work. They say it's gonna be cool. I'll try it out. I'll probably get bored with it after an hour, but it's there. It looks fun. Just not for me. But I can't wait for this one. What a weird transition going from the last game into this one. But then at number 7, we got Persona 5 Royale. This is a game that came out that when it was released, I just did not have a chance to play. And there's the streaming issue, I remember, where you couldn't stream up to a certain point of the game or past a certain point of the game. I don't really remember exactly what it was, but that was a turnoff. Plus, I just had a lot going on at the time, so I didn't really put much time into this one. So I'm really excited to have another chance and another reason to play this. Hopefully that issue doesn't happen in this release. I don't think it will, but hopefully it doesn't. What they did add into this game was another semester and another character. So as if the game wasn't long enough, now it's 50% longer. But from what I remember, the story was really good. Combat was great, just another turn-based RPG. Always love those. Character collection and leveling up and developing your team was, I don't know, it was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to jumping back into this and giving Persona 5 the full treatment that it deserves.
Time for my comeback, so to speak. Show me what you can do. Stay out of my way. All will be revealed.
Up next at number 6 is Mutants. This is a game that I heard about a long time ago, got excited about a long time ago, never heard about it again, forgot about it, and now I'm excited again. So, this one, you play as a little, I don't know what this guy is, a little ninja rat. Is that a rat? Is that a cat? I'm not sure, whatever it is. You play as a little creature in a post-apocalyptic world that got destroyed by an oil plague, and you're trying to cleanse the infected tree of life. So you're going through this world, fighting all these other weird creatures, trying to save the planet, basically. Looks like Horizon Zero Dawn meets Little Big Planet. The crafting in this game is insane, really similar to Dead Rising. Looks really cool. Character customization is also really in-depth, but not only does it affect your looks, but it affects your skills. Like, if you have a big head, you have more intelligence. If you're a bigger character, you move slower. I'm just really excited for it. And they say you can fight the boss pretty early in the game, or you can finish the world before you fight the boss. I don't know. Sounds like a blatant rip-off of Zelda, now that I think about it. And honestly now, I'm starting to rethink its place on this list. And at number 5, we got Cyberpunk 2077. This one is going to be great. We're in the heavy hitters now. I bet you didn't expect to see this one this low on this list, but here we are. That just means everything from this point forward is off the charts and wildly anticipated. Not a whole lot needs to be said about this one. CJ Projekt Red always knocks it out of the park. Everything they do is gold. So the expectations for this one are extremely, extremely high, and I don't think they're gonna let us down. They never do. Witcher was fantastic, and this seems to be on the next level. So it seems like, just from watching the trailer, they took every sci-fi trope, tuned it up to 11, and just let loose with it. You've got everything here. And then as far as gameplay mechanics, you've got everything you want from a first-person RPG. You got great gunplay. Looting looks fantastic. All the interactions and social decisions you'll be making, it all looks great. It's like the best of the best. It's like Fallout meets The Witcher, basically, is what we're getting. And I am excited. It's gonna be an amazing first-person action RPG. Can't wait for this one. As I was looking for the trailer for this game, I started seeing articles about this game that that date back all the way to 2013. Like, I had no idea we've been talking about this game for 7 years. Time has flown by. Number 4, The Last of Us Part 2. The first one just left on it was such a perfect ending, because it was a cliffhanger, but it still tied everything together. But ever since then, I've been dying to know what happens next. So I'm very excited that this game is finally coming out. The first one was perfect, and this just looks, once again, like they're making it so much better. Just watching this trailer brings back so many memories. Like when you hear that click go, I get so much anxiety. It just brings back all the feeling from the first game in this trailer. It's just survival horror. They really took it and ran with it and made it into something great. This is like the first game where I think storytelling in games actually started to get taken serious. This is the game that did it. There'd been great games before that had great stories, but The Last of Us was just on a completely different level. Everybody played this game. Everybody did. So just everything about this. It looks and feels exactly like it should. I'm stoked. Can't wait. And Joel is back. Like, there's a big speculation as to whether or not he's actually going to show up in this game. So I'm glad to see that the duo is back together. I can't wait to see what happens next to him. But only a few months. And we are now in the top 3. Into the number 3 spot is Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Of every game on this list, I think this has to be the most visually appealing. This looks incredible. It looks so good. Like, you can't deny that. Even the first game was fantastic looking. Everything about the graphics was like, if you were to pick a game or purchase a game just based on graphics alone, just wanted something visually appealing, fun to look at, Ori would be your go-to. When Ori originally came out, it was exclusive to Xbox, and I didn't have an Xbox at the time, and this is the one game that I was like envious that I was missing out on. I love Metroidvania games, and everything about the first one looks great, and I really wanted to play it. Finally got my hands on it, and when I was able to, I actually didn't make it through the whole game. I just had too much going on at the time, so I'll be doing a full playthrough of this in the next month to get ready for this. But from what I remember of the first game, and looking at this now, it's like they took everything from that first game and just refined it, made everything crisp, and I'm stoked for another great Metroidvania. Taking the number 2 spot, we've got Nioh 2. Of all the Souls-like games, Nioh is my favorite. Nioh is the one that took combat, changed it up a lot. Prior to this game, I just felt like combat was too slow. It was really sluggish, and I just couldn't get into it, so I never really enjoyed the Dark Souls games personally. Nioh came along, sped things up, made combat feel a lot more arcadey, a lot more action-oriented, and it appealed to me a lot more. So, if you haven't played the first game, not a huge deal, you can jump right into this one. This one actually takes place before the first game. You're not even playing as the same character, you're making your own character in this one, and I would assume it leads up into the events that happened in the first game. Combat in the first game was pretty evolved. You had 5 different weapon types. In this game we have 9, so you have the original 5, the sword, the dual sword, spear, axe, and the kusuragama. This time around we're also adding hatchets, odachi, which is like a samurai sword, a switchblade, which is really similar to a scythe, and a tonfa, if you think like a police club. The skill tree in this game looks massive. This is an insane looking skill tree, and this is just one of the 9 weapons. Each weapon will have a skill tree really similar to this. And on top of that, you have 4 different classes you can choose. You've got your ninja, which is like stealth, throwable bombs, poisons, samurai, which is like your tank build, the shiftling, which increases your yokai form powers, which is something new that you can do with this. You can just turn into monsters. Similar, reminds me of like a druid. It's definitely the class I'm going to be playing, so I'm pretty excited for that one. And then you have your traditional caster called Onmyo. I don't know how to pronounce that. Speaking of yokai transformations, this time around you have something called the Dark Realm, where enemies can drag you into the Dark Realm and you become weaker, but then you use your yokai transformations to become stronger and get back out of the Dark Realm. Seems like an interesting mechanic they're adding in. And, of course, taking the top spot is the Final Fantasy VII Remake. Should be no surprise. If you know anything about me, you know Final Fantasy VII has always been my favorite game. I just have so many fond memories of that, and just watching this trailer brings it all back. So I'm very, very excited to jump into this. I can't wait for it to come out. Just recently got hit with a delay, but we've been waiting 4 or 5 months. If they need 1 more month to perfect it, I'm all for it. Take your time. I can wait. I'm so excited though. I can't wait to see what they do with this. And it seems like they're doing a lot of different things. I chose this trailer specifically because it illustrates a few of my points. This fight with the Turks that they're showing isn't actually in the original game, so I don't know where that's coming from. It's kind of confusing to me. It's like they gave the same game with the same idea, maybe the same premise, but not the same delivery. I don't know if they're wanting it to make it feel fresh for returning players, or if they're changing the story entirely. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure why Tifa isn't kidnapped in the Don Corneo scene. Like, why is she helping Cloud get the wig? I shouldn't complain too much though. At least that scene made into the game. We were all worried that it wasn't going to, so I'm glad to see that it's there. And Aerith looks stunning in that scene. Which brings me to character design. Obviously all the main characters look fantastic, perfect. But even the side characters all look exactly like they should. You got the Turks, Corneo, Jesse, Wedge, Biggs, all look incredible. Combat in the game looks flawless. You can do the original like turn-based combat if you want to play more traditionally, or you can speed things up, and they have like an active time battle system similar to Final Fantasy 15 or Kingdom Hearts 3, which I'm hoping is more along the lines of Kingdom Hearts 3, but we'll see what happens with that. Only drawback to this game is it's not the full game, it's going to be episodic, and they haven't really told us anything about that. We don't know how many episodes it's going to be, and we don't know when the first episode's going to end, but they said each episode should feel like a fully fleshed out game, and I would expect the first episode ends as soon as you get out of Midgar. That's where I would end it, so I don't know, I'm excited. I can't wait to see what they do with this. It's going to be so good. And there we have it, my top 10 most anticipated games of 2020. How are your guys' lists looking? Let me know in the comments down below what's on your list, what you're looking forward to this year. I'm sure my Cyberpunk ranking is going to frustrate some of you guys, seeing that so low, but that just means we have a huge year ahead of us. It's going to be pretty strong, starting off really, really strong, so looking forward to all of these games that are coming out. I was planning on doing honorable mentions, which were going to be games that do have plans to come out this year but don't have exact release dates. This video is already getting way too long, so I couldn't add those, but if you're interested, those games that I was looking forward to are Hollow Knight has a sequel coming out, Bravely Default 2, Elden Ring is the From Software G.R.R. Martin collaboration, Ghost of Tsushima, Psychonauts 2, Watch Dogs Legion, and Dying Light 2, which just got delayed indefinitely. I don't know when that is supposed to be coming out now. Hopefully it still is in the works, but we'll have to see. So you can tell if I would have added those to this video, it would have been probably twice as long. But anyway, I'll be streaming all these games that we talked about on my Twitch channel. I'll be trying to get some footage, some content on the YouTube channel, probably reviews, and I don't know, just see what the year brings. So I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully you guys are too. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you on the flip side.